Hello everyone, it's thomasjujube, and welcome to the Hasbro Era officially. It has all started today with the premiere of Power Rangers Beast Morphers earlier this morning, and I have to say that premiere was awesome. It started off so many great things. I hope that this level of writing and this kind of feeling of quality will continue throughout the Beast Morphers show. But we're just going to talk about this premiere, and I personally thought the premiere was awesome. I love the world building. Like, I'm a stickler for continuity. I'm kind of that guy that's like, excuse me, that's a different color in this shot, or that doesn't fit in with the last episode. That's just the way I am. I'm a continuity person. But I love how this establishes continuity with the other Power Rangers universes. And I mean, that's just so cool. Like, they don't have that moment that we usually get where like a person's like, what's a Power Ranger or something. They talk about the Power Rangers like on the news very freely. They like, when they talk about the morphin grid, they're like, we finally figured out how to tap into the Power Rangers morphin grid. Like very obviously, like, you should know what a Power Rangers morphin grid is, or the Power Rangers morphin grid. And the mayor even says that to Nate, who I think is going to be the Gold Ranger, but I don't know for sure about that. But anyway, the mayor even says, like, the morphin grid is dangerous because other villains only existed essentially because of it. We know that's not entirely true, but for the most part, the morphin grid is, I guess, the root of all evil in Power Rangers, kind of, sort of, just because Rangers exist to stop it. All these villains, but these villains in most cases only exist because of these Rangers. So even name drops Rita Repulsa, Sledge, and Galvanax. Now, Galvanax didn't really exist because of, okay, I was about to say Galvanax didn't exist because of the Morphin Grid, but he only came to Earth because of the Ninja Power Stars, which I assume are connected to the Morphin Grid. So, yeah, I mean, it's really cool how they establish continuity with the other Power Rangers universes. And I mean, while we're talking about Power Rangers, I guess, I love that we have kind of what Jungle Fury did. I can't think of any other seasons. I think Lost Galaxy did this with their Red Ranger. I can't think of any other seasons that did this, but I love how we have our Red and Yellow Rangers, so essentially 2/3 of the team, were just kind of thrown into this. Because we very clearly see that our Ranger team was supposed to be Blaze, Ravi, and Roxy, but then Blaze and Roxy got corrupted and became avatars because of Evox. So then we got Devin and Zoe thrown instead to become the Red and Yellow Rangers, and I mean, that was honestly just all on accident. Now, of course, they were there on purpose to help out, so of course this does show they are qualified to be Rangers, which is, I think, why Nate chose to morph them. But they're still essentially thrown into this, so I think that can create a lot of great stories for the season. I even think the next episode after this is about the Rangers trying to figure out who should be the leader, because obviously Devin's a Red Ranger, and since they know Power Rangers continuity, or they know about other Power Rangers, I mean, they probably would assume that Devin should be the leader because he's just a Red Ranger. But Ravi is obviously probably the most trained out of all of them because he was actually selected prior to this whole thing happening to become a Ranger. So he's probably, if anything, the most qualified. And then Zoe could probably also bring something to the table. Like, she could actually be a born leader. Ravi just has the most experience. Devin's really just the Red Ranger. And they know about other Power Rangers universes, so they're probably like, well, you're the Red Ranger, so you should probably be the leader. Probably, hopefully that's not what happens. But I mean, we know Red will become the leader. But again, I really like the whole, I like everything they do in this premiere. Not everything. I guess I will start talking about some negatives, but there's not too much negative. It's mostly just nitpicking. For example, the helmets taking on and off. When they take on and off the Ranger helmets, it seems a little strange because you can very clearly tell they're not putting on the helmet, which I know is not possible, but like, you can very clearly tell they're just holding the helmet in front of their head. Like when Blaze puts on his Dark Ranger helmet, it looks like he's just putting the helmet in front of his face. If they cut that a little quicker, I think it could have looked a lot cooler. That's just, again, a stupid nitpick. I don't like the... I'm partial kind of to the comedic duo in this season. I was hoping we wouldn't get one, but they didn't have much impact on this episode, and they didn't really do much in this episode, which I think is fine. They only had, I think at max, like a minute of screen time, as opposed to Victor and Monty's 10 minutes of screen time, and Bulk and, not Skull, Bulk and, whatever, the samurai duo, Bulk and Skull's cousin, they took up a lot of screen time in Samurai. So I like in here, we're progressing. How do I explain this? Alright, our comedic duo in this season, who I don't know their names yet, we don't cut to them just all of a sudden doing whatever they're doing. It flows from where our main characters are, which is I think what they did in Mighty Morphin with Bulk and Skull. So I think that's pretty cool. But I still wish we didn't have a comedic duo, but they're doing this comedic duo right, it seems. So if you must have a comedic duo, do it right, and I'm okay with that. Speaking of Mighty Morphin, we obviously got a very clear Mighty Morphin reference outside of Rita Repulsa with the what's very clearly supposed to be the Juice Bar Cafe, because they even have a karate class. But this is where we get into something that I really like, again, with having this pre-selected Ranger team. We kind of get like a version of like any other character talking to a Power Ranger outside of the world, but like, or in the world, but like from the perspective that our Power Rangers aren't our main characters. Like what I mean is we have Devin talking with Blaze, and then we have Ravi and Roxy telling Blaze to stop fighting, and like you can very clearly, or at least from the audience, we can clearly tell they're gonna be the Power Rangers if you've seen like obviously casting and stuff like that. But like it's kind of interesting to see this kind of script flipped on its head, where we don't see the Power Rangers standing up against a bully. We kind of see our Power Ranger is a bully, and then we see our real Red Ranger, I guess, fighting against this bully Red Ranger. So I think it's really interesting how we kind of flipped that script on its head, and it kind of seemed like, I'm not sure if this was Hasbro, but it kind of seemed like to me they're like, you don't like how much they pile on Mighty Morphin? Okay, we're going to throw in the Juice Bar reference, but it's completely different. So, again, I think that was pretty cool. And it also kind of makes me wonder, this is another small nitpick, if Blaze was like kind of that mean bully sort of character, kind of makes me wonder how he got selected to be a Ranger. But I imagine they weren't going for like Zordon, let's say Zordon, Gosei, I guess, so to say, any of like the Ninja Power Stars, any of these mystical kind of trinkets for Power Rangers, they care who they select to be Rangers. They want like a good person to be a Power Ranger. But the Grid Battle Force, I guess, they just need Power Rangers to defend the Morphin Grid for when they use it for clean energy. So I guess Blaze was a good fighter, and that's all that mattered to them. So I think, again, that's interesting. I like how they're taking elements of Power Rangers that are usually just so commonplace, and they're flipping all that on its head. So that's about all I can really say about this premiere. I think, oh, okay, just one more thing. I'm not sure if this is very commonplace in Power Rangers premieres. I should know if it's commonplace, but I haven't seen a premiere in a while. I haven't watched an episode in a while because I didn't like Super Ninja Steel. So I know usually premieres are mostly original footage, but this premiere was all original footage, and it's not like it was all just the Rangers outside of suit. Even when they're in suit, they're in original footage, and essentially this whole thing was original footage, but it was all like set building original footage. Like think when they make a Marvel movie or a Star Wars movie and they're in like a spaceship, they have to make that whole inside of the spaceship. They did that for literally the entire Grid Battle Force here, and it's all original footage. So this whole thing is original footage, but it's not like civilian original footage. It's all they handcrafted stuff for original footage. Like this episode feels like there was time, effort, love put into it, and I hope that this will continue into the Beast Morphers series. So currently, this premiere, I give it like a 4 out of 5, I think. It was a really great premiere, really great start to the Hasbro era of Power Rangers, and I hope that the quality in this premiere will carry on to the rest of the show and hopefully to the future seasons to come. So let me know what you thought of the Power Rangers Beast Morphers premiere down in the comment section. Let me know what you hope they will do with this season. Let me know what you loved, maybe what you didn't love with this episode, and I hope to see you next time. Thank you for watching.